Alright, so I'm doing a challenge where I have to platinum as many games as I can. Today, the first game we will do is called The Pedestrian. This came out in January 2017 and is a puzzle-based game. It's currently free on PS Plus, which is why this is going to be the first platinum. Fortunately, this game has no missable trophies, so it'll be quite easy. All of this is streamed on Twitch, which is on screen now, and I'll probably be streaming most of these challenges on there too, so hop in when you can. This game is super simple as it's just a guy walking through each level, which is a puzzle, trying to get to the end. However, the music in the background whilst you're playing is so great, just listen. Altogether, the game has 10 achievements, which are all completed by playing the main story. Once we get out of this starting area, we need to get out of the warehouse. The levels here are quite simple as all you need to do is connect doors and ladders together in order to get a key and go on to the next area. Then the game introduces us to other parts of the puzzles, such as elevators and doors which use control panels to turn on and off. Once we leave our warehouse, we will pick up our first piece of hardware to plug into our device. This will be used later on and is what each section leads to, because in each place you get another piece to add to the device to get it to work. This is also where our first trophy box called Warehouse. This was gotten because we completed the first area and now we move on into the subway. These levels are similar to the last, but now they involve these bounce pads and lasers, which can also be controlled by the panels. However, we are also sometimes given a box which we must move to certain areas to perform jumps we wouldn't have been able to do otherwise. Although some of the puzzles can feel repetitive, once each part is completed, it does go to another place, and the artwork and design from place to place does make this game more exciting to play. Once we are nearing the end of the subway segment, we are shown our device again, but this time we must go down multiple different paths to get the pieces to control the device. This is what happens in each segment. When you reach the end, you must do another level to get each different part and progress to the next area. Once we get the piece, we can put it into our device and get the subway trophy. Then we go onto a train and put in the correct pin to take us to the next location. At this point we get to the downtown section, which gives us another achievement for completing the subway segment, giving us 3 out of 10 achievements completed. This section is similar to the section before, however at some point I discover a secret room that gives me a Roman style helmet. This doesn't give me an achievement or anything, but makes my character look cooler, so I'll use it. Once we get past this section and add another piece to the device, we go up a ladder onto a bridge and take another train to the next area again. Here we get another achievement as we go to the university and again need to get more components for the device. This does get quite repetitive, but the game is short. It took me 4 hours and most of that time is me being stuck on the same level. Once we complete this, we have 4 components and only need 3 left before our device is able to work. This part was just more of the same kind of levels, but I got stuck for ages on this one level and had to turn off the game and play again the day after because I just couldn't figure it out. After finally completing that part, I got the inner city achievement, meaning we only had 5 trophies left. Then I got onto another train to the next area called Rooftops. These levels had a different element from the others. You could paint certain parts of the level green to permanently keep it in the state it was. This would allow me to change doorways without being reset to the start of the level as long as I was in the room that was painted. This would also work for objects like keys, meaning I would be able to move them around their level when needed. Once I completed the first level in the rooftop section, I was given the achievement Rooftop Paint, giving me only 4 more achievements to complete. I was then taken to the top of the rooftop, which had a complete different feel and design to the rest of the game, so I knew I was in the final section of the game. This area took me over different rooftops and cranes connecting them. I thought it was quite cool, but I'm not sure on how other people would feel about the section. I could tell it was building to the end as it kept taking me higher up throughout the level. Once I'd gotten partway through getting the last components for the gadget, I was taken through a picnic area, which gave me the achievement Rooftops Cake. We are then given another achievement partway through the same section called Rooftops Dark, so it's pretty obvious it's close to the end here as they're starting to give achievements away much more frequently than they did in earlier parts of the game. Finally, I got the last component for the gadget, and this is where the game changed quite a bit, as it had been in 2D the entire game, but when I got the finale achievement, it gave me control of a man in a 3D world instead of the 2D signs that we'd been living in before, which was quite different and cool for the game to do. In this part of the game, you use the 3D man and the 2D man at the same time to help each other out by going through this corridor, as I had to use the 3D guy to move the sign to connect the door, but the 2D guy to turn on the power, which was nice. At this point, the finale is much different to the rest of the game. You control the 3D man on top of 4 towers, however these are also represented within the 2D level on one of the walls. The doors you connect from each part of the level to the other also connect the bridges between the towers in the 3D world. You need to move the box in the 2D so you're able to access it in the 3D world. Then you must move it again in the 3D world to help yourself with this level in the 2D world, which is completely different to anything else in the game and honestly should have been used more within the game itself instead of the final mission, because it would have made the game much less repetitive than it was. But at the end of this level, you move the key in the 3D and 2D. This allows you to unlock the door in 2D to allow the player to walk through in the 3D world. This then takes you into a room which is probably a recreation of the game developer's room, as there are drawings of the game scattered all around the room. Finally, you go through a few steps to open a hole in the wall, and this leads you to a lake that goes on forever with a rowboat beside it. Once I got in the boat, I gained the final trophy called Apartments, and the game ended. At this point I realised that the platinum didn't come up, so I checked, and it turned out this entire time there wasn't even a platinum trophy for the game. So that kind of stings a bit, as my first platinum video doesn't even have a trophy in. I kind of felt like I'd wasted my time and not make a video at all, but I decided to because I did really enjoy the game, and I do think anyone who can play it should, because it's something different to everything else we play. As I said before, this is all streamed on my Twitch, which is on screen again, and I'll link it in the description. Also, if there are any games you want me to platinum or any feedback you have on the video, please post it in the comments, because this is the first video in hopefully a series of platinum videos. So I hope you enjoyed it, and thank you all for watching.